Deputy Speaker.
I thank the member. The question is the motion be agreed to, and I call the member for McNamara.
Thank you, Acting Speaker. And I rise to speak on the member for Barrowa's motion on NAIDOC Week, and I commend him for putting this motion forward, and also note his ongoing commitment to this issue and to Indigenous Australians, and his sincerity and his commitment to it is noted, and it is a very good thing, Acting Speaker. I too start by acknowledging the traditional owners of the land on which we meet, the Ngunnawal and Ngambri people, and I pay my respects to their elders past, present and emerging. And I also acknowledge traditional owners from where I represent, the Boonwurrung people of the Kulin Nation, and I acknowledge their elders past, present and emerging. This NAIDOC Week locally was marked in a couple of ways. The City of Port Phillip, together with Ngāwit Dr Caroline Briggs AM, the elder of the Yalukit Willem clan of the Boonwurrung, celebrated NAIDOC Week. She welcomed country, and then there was a number of local events, including Uncle Jack Charles did a guided meditation for those in Port Phillip, and it truly was a celebration of local Indigenous culture, but also Indigenous culture locally. And I think it's a wonderful thing that we stopped and celebrated and marked it. But it is not all just positivity, to be honest, Acting Speaker. I think that whenever we stop and speak about Indigenous Australians and the issues that confront them on a daily basis, we need to be sombre as well and note that there is much to do, and that while we are constantly reminded and renewed of our focus through events and celebrations like NAIDOC Week, it does also mean that we have to be honest and fair about the work that still needs to be done, and be critical of the fact that we haven't achieved what we should have up until now. The theme of NAIDOC this week was, always was and always will be. Always was 65,000 years of history of this great country, and the fact that we will never ever take that away, and we will celebrate that into the future identity of what it is to be Australian. Indigenous Australians understood things that I think that we are still grappling with: how to live sustainably onto the land, how to manage water sustainably, how to not take too much from the land on which we live, but to live in harmony with our surroundings. And I think that we have much to heed from the past and from the thousands of years of civilization that happened before we all arrived in this country. But I also think that in order to bring that forward and to close some of the truly ugly and awful differences in the life and life expectancy between Indigenous Australians and non-Indigenous Australians, we need to listen to the one key thing that Indigenous Australians are asking for, and that is more of a say in their own affairs, and that is more of a say in their own issues and the policies that affect them and their lives. And the coming together in 2017 at Uluru for a remarkable and sincere document of the Uluru Statement from the Heart is one that it saddens me a little bit that we don't have bipartisan support in full for the Uluru Statement from the Heart, that is fracturing, and that there is actually only one political party that supports the Uluru Statement in full. And that is not something I say with pride, that is something I say with disappointment, that we stand ready and that we will we await the government and the coalition to come on board and to not let this be a partisan issue. We gain nothing by having this as a partisan issue, and we need to come together. And in fact, a recent survey found that a vast majority, 81% of Australians, are happy for a constitutionally enshrined voice, a voice protected in the Constitution. Is not something that we should be afraid of. We all remember the hesitation that former Prime Minister Howard had in saying sorry. It became a matter of culture and politics when it didn't need to be. We don't need to be standing here today afraid of what a voice and what listening and respecting the requests of Indigenous Australians means. We can stand here with confidence and engage and build something that is unifying and is embracing of the past and of the future. And NAIDOC Week presents us with an opportunity to remind ourselves of that, and I hope that we have a better future and a bipartisan future on this very front.
I thank the member. The